Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, and King Dio. Here we are again with another Platinum Games situation, another ridiculous idea put forward by their management. This isn't me complaining about fanboys. This isn't me complaining about people on Twitter who don't know what they're talking about. This is coming straight from Platinum Games themselves. This is on par with, I think, the whole Kickstarter fiasco, the whole going multi-plat fiasco. Constantly lying to their audience regarding the current state of things at Platinum Games. Platinum Games has had I don't want to say a long history, in the recent past, has had a history of making shit up and trying desperately to deflect the blame onto other platforms, other people, other associates, I should say. Right now, Platinum Games is telling people who are becoming increasingly concerned about the state of the company and titles like Bayonetta 3 that it's all Nintendo's fault. It's all Nintendo's fault that we can't announce the game. It's Nintendo's fault that we can't talk about it in any way. We can't show screenshots. It's entirely up to them. We would love to show you update footage on Bayonetta 3, but unfortunately, that ball is in Nintendo's court. It is Nintendo's responsibility to talk about Bayonetta 3. What they're trying to do in this situation is to try and blame Nintendo for their inability to put out a video game release on time. I've talked about this before. I've talked about how No More Heroes 3 went into full production, after Travis Strikes Again came out and released 3 years later. Stellar action game. Bayonetta 3 has been in production since, 2017? At the latest? And yet somehow we still haven't seen a single screenshot. We don't have a concept. We don't have a general release date. 2021. We have no idea where this game is. We have no idea. We've seen nothing from it. And what Platinum Games is trying to do is deflect the blame onto Nintendo, despite being the primary developer. No, I don't buy that. Nintendo has done nothing but be very upfront about all of their other projects, including Prime 4, which has had similar, apparently, development problems in development. They've been very upfront about what they've been doing, their plans, and they've constantly been releasing new interesting games in spite of minor setbacks like this. With Platinum Games, we've seen nothing but red flag after red flag after red flag for the past, let's be generous and say 2017, right? Platinum Games is clearly on the decline, and they clearly don't want to admit it. But more than that, the thing that I think really puts them in the shitter for me, that makes me really, really angry, is the fact that their shills, their fanboys, their demographic, and it seems their very own developers, people like Inaba, people like Kamiya, they are trying to deflect the blame onto Nintendo, the only company that has given them any leeway, that has given them all these allowances, that has allowed them to do all this stuff. They're trying to deflect the blame. People are starting to notice these things, they're talking about them, and Platinum doesn't like it. So as a result of it, they're going to try and blame Nintendo for everything. They're going to do the Squaresoft thing, they're going to do the Capcom thing, they're going to do the Konami thing. Oh man, it's Nintendo that's the problem. If only we could have made this game multi-plat, then we could have done all the things we wanted to do with these games. No. That is straight up wrong. It always was, and it always will be. You completely failed to develop this game. You completely failed to run your company effectively, and now you're reaping those rewards. Your company is on the way out and probably won't last another 5 years. This is the beginning of the end, I think. This is I think, the big red flag for me that like things are not going well with Bayonetta 3. They're not going well with Platinum Games. Like if Bayonetta 3 comes out, which I am very skeptical that it will, like I think it will be the final game that Platinum Games puts out. Like their mobile games aren't going to go anywhere, their self-published games aren't going to go anywhere. I don't think we're going to see anything from them ever again. This to me is the end.